Biggles of the Camel Squadron is the third book in a series of almost 100 books written by Captain W.E. Johns, starring the character James Bigglesworth. The first two books in the series were really entertaining. The first was called The Camels Are Coming, and this was set in the First World War and was a collection of short stories. The second book was called The Cruise of the Condor and was a standalone full-length novel of Biggles' adventures in South America. In this third book, Biggles of the Camel Squadron, we once again return to the trenches of World War I, to an aerodrome number 266 in a place called Marinique. And again, we follow Biggles on his adventures during his time there. Now, there's 13 chapters, 13 separate stories in this. They're all of a length that they probably take about 30 to 40 minutes to read. And so it's a pretty easy book to get through if you're on a commute or something like that. Published in 1934, this was originally a collection of short stories. And you can really imagine being a young boy in the 30s, getting your brain all wrapped up and excited in the adventures that are presented here. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the book, though, and something that I noticed about the first book in the series as well, is that when it comes to the cold reality of war, Johns doesn't really hold back. Even though there is that adventure aspect to the stories, there are some real cold realities communicated. For example, in this book, and amongst all the stories that are contained in it, Biggles loses friends. There's descriptions of pilots falling out of planes as they turn over, because in those days, of course, pilots weren't issued with parachutes. There's descriptions of pilots slumping dead in their seats before their planes arc down and crash into the trenches. There's people being blown up in the trenches. So there's definitely a reality of war that's presented here. Of course, while there is a sense of adventure about it, it's quite good, I think, that there is this sobering tone to each of the stories. This book, as I said, is quite short. It's only 13 separate short story chapters, and I got through it in around about a week. Of course, I'm going to recommend this book because I'm a massive Biggles nerd. But I think this is something that people who have an interest in the military or aviation or even history in general should have a look at, for the reason that not only is it an entertaining read, but while you're at it, you'll also get a little bit of a history lesson.